My name is Sharon Edemchukwu and I'm your host for the show. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me Ifoma Otti and Mr. Ugochukwu Afoba. Good evening, how are we all doing?
Good evening.
How are we doing?
Good
Happy
evening.
new month to you, Mr.
Well.
Ugochukwu. Yes, it's a brand new month and actually the last month of the year. Now, talking about last things first, we're starting with the report indicating that Abia State Governor Otti visited Nnamdi Kanu in detention. The visit has sparked fresh political debate about the government discussions, regional tensions, and the future of Kanu's legal and political journey. Also making headlines is the presidency call for Nigerians to report any violations of President Tinubu's directive withdrawing police escort from VIPs. This follows public concerns after police escorts were reportedly seen with businessman Cubana chief priest, raising questions about enforcement, compliance, and whether the policy is applied evenly. Now, finally, in Kwara State, bandits have reportedly demanded 150 million naira for the release of a kidnapped Kwara State monarch. The case has intensified discussions about rising insecurity, ransom negotiations, and the pressure on state authorities. But we're first starting with this August visitation from Governor Otti to Sokoto to see Nnamdi Kanu in detention. Now, while the process or the events leading up to that particular visit was shown, the actual visit to the prison was not shown as it's against their prison rules. But we're going to have a quick look at that video and then we'll return back in the studio.
I have come to say You carried me through the fire, you held my hand in the storm. When I was weak and weary, your love kept me strong. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, I have come to say Emmanuel, Emmanuel, I have come to say from the rising of the morning to the setting of the sun, all my days I will be singing of the wonders you have done. Emmanuel, Emmanuel.
And we are going back with the memories that Sokoto is the land of hospitality. And we're happy. We're also happy to see our brother, our son, Nnamdi Kanu, who has also become your son today by reason of circumstances that happened. And we're happy that you are taking good care of him. And our prayers is that God Almighty will continue to bless Sokoto State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the good brotherhood and the love that we all have for each other. Thank you very much once again, and may God continue to bless us all.
I have come to say Emmanuel, Emmanuel, I have come to say from the rising of the morning to the setting.
We just saw that video and I am just going to take our reactions first. Ifoma, what do you think that video, the visit from Abia State Governor Otti to Nnamdi Kanu in prison means politically?
Okay, Okay, let me start by what it means generally. When we talk about leadership, we talk about vision, a governor that knows where he's going to. We talk about influence, we talk about responsibility, we talk about accountability, we talk about integrity, service, we talk about empathy. Now, and more. This is what I believe Alex Otti kind of is clothed with, and I believe Nigerians have seen it to a large extent. Now, going to go and meet or visit Nnamdi Kanu in prison, for me, I think it was quite remarkable, if I'm to make a statement on that, because a lot of Southeast governors, or a lot of people, political figures in the Southeast are not in support of Nnamdi Kanu. Some of them are in support of Nnamdi Kanu. So it is quite rare that somebody who is in a different state, the same state, hailing from the same state with the Nnamdi Kanu, could actually show that, okay, I care about you, going there to go and motivate him that no matter what, that everything is going to, be sorted out. So like trying to give him the courage that he needs, and I believe that was quite remarkable. Then politically, I think maybe because every other governors are turning towards the central power, which is going to where the national cake is, to feed their pockets. I believe somehow it negates or alienates Alex Otti from the entirety of the national cake, something which for me, like I said earlier, is quite remarkable.
Okay, now you're saying that Alex Otti making that visit public, his visit to Nnamdi Kanu is going to alienate him from the central power, which it seems a lot of Southeast governors has been veering towards. Now let me also take your look on this with what we're seeing from Governor Alex Otti. Do you think other Southeastern governors should hold the same part?
Well, please allow me to reiterate what I've always said. Talking about Nnamdi Kanu's case and how political it is, we've always known that this is a political case. And now it is time for the political actors in the Southeast to intervene, because I have said it before and I am saying it again. This case, we all know how highly political it is. And the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu, without bias, I'm saying it does not end the tension or crisis in the Southeast. It only brews it more, steadily, slowly, but then steadily. The tension continues to rise in the Southeast and could lead to unrest. And the matter is out of court now. Obviously, the only thing that could be done now is for the Southeast political stakeholders to influence the matter. That's what should be done. So, firstly, I wish to commend Governor Alex Otti, who came out publicly without, wanting to know what the other people are saying. To, say publicly, he didn't necessarily say it, but he has shown us that he is standing in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu. But then I also wish to make a comment on what Ifeoma just said. And
also answer the question that I asked.
Single-handedly, Alex Otti cannot do it alone. He needs the federal, the central. As a governor, he cannot do anything. He cannot pardon Nnamdi Kanu. So,
but do you think other state governors, other Southeastern governors should also do the same?
That's what I'm saying. They should not just the governors. Because the governors might not necessarily have so much influence. We know political stakeholders in the Southeast that have so much influence. If we want to mention names, number one, Peter Obi, who ran for president, who got almost more than 6 million votes in the last election. He has so much influence, so he can influence this case. So this is what they need to do if they really care about the Southeast. All
right. Now, from political figures, public figures like Peter Obi from the Southeast, that Mr. Ugochukwu has said should also show solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu's case. If they do that, do you think, Ifeoma, that they will be able to get the federal attention to look at this case again and maybe grant a pardon now that judgment has already been given?
I believe that this present administration, most especially the president to a very large extent, does not care about what anybody says or what anybody does. Whatever they want to do, whatever he wants to do, he go ahead and does it. So asking me if he's really going to have a rethink about this whole sentencing, I don't really have the perfect answer for that, but I remember when we talked about this case when Kanu was given the life sentencing, life imprisonment. I said that okay, we are waiting for the next chapter, which should be the pardon, you understand? So if there is anything the president is going to revisit, is that pardoning. There's possibility that
that's the question that I asked,
will make him score political points at the end of the day. So it's not even whether it is because of what P2B said, it's because it's something that will benefit him on the long run, getting towards 2027 election.
All right, so now still talking just finally on this before we move to the next story. How do you think that government now should manage public expectations after this particular visit coming from Alex Otti, because we're seeing people online coming out to say, they had a closed door meeting with Nnamdi Kanu, there might be something in the pipeline. How do you think they can curtail people's expectations?
I don't really know how they will do that, but one thing I know, like I said before, is that Governor Alex Otti single-handedly cannot affect Nnamdi Kanu's case. So whatever everyone in the Southeast is already looking at the chance of the president pardoning Nnamdi Kanu, and I mean all hopes are high. I believe he will, just like Ifoma said, even if not for what the political stakeholders are doing, but for the political points he can gain himself. If he does that, looking towards 2027. All
right, now it seems as though it's already decided that if there's going to be any presidential pardon on the case of Nnamdi Kanu, that it would just come before 2027, before the elections. Anyways, moving forward to the next story, the presidency has come out to urge Nigerians to report violations of Tinubu's VIP police withdrawal order. And my first question is, the fact that the presidency has given the Nigerian civilian or ordinary Nigerian citizen the power of enforcement to an order that he made, do you see any discrepancy with that, or is this all a communal fight to ensure that this order from the presidency is followed through, Ifoma?
It shows clearly that the people that the president surrounds himself with are incompetent, and which for me is quite worrisome, that you can't even trust that the people you are delegating to ensure that your policies are being implemented, you can't even count on them. You are now counting on ordinary citizens to keep your implementation, or rather to give you feedback on your policies. Now, as regards this entirety of this particular case, I saw a video, or rather a picture of a police officer kind of protected what's it called, Cubana chief priest, even when the president said he was withdrawing all the service chiefs, now the VIP, sorry. And now the thing there is that I remember when we talked about this topic, I said we are not going to see the president, any security officer being withdrawn, that we are still going to see them helping or coming to the service of these VIPs, and that is exactly what you're going to see from now henceforth. It's not, Nigeria, all these things are just rubber stamp, all these things are just make it just be like say we they make headline, make it just be like say we they work, but at the end of the day, we all know these things, that at the end of the day there is no implementation. So even if Nigerians are going to be watchdog to your policy, at the end of the day, if they report it, what will you do? Will your advisors still report back to you that okay, this is what I'm seeing, and you will do something about it? And let's equally have in mind that the advisor said that it doesn't encompass every other VIPs, that there are some VIPs that will not be moving with police escorts, but there are still some that will still have police VIPs. So I think if you're withdrawing the the entire police officers from escorting or attaching to VIPs. It should cut across every other person, not removing some people from the equation.
You know, now you're talking about the fact that even when this order was given, not even looking at the fact that it's coming from the presidency, that there was already the notion that it would not be executed or followed through. Now, Mr. Ugochukwu, my question really is, what are the structural issues that are preventing compliance to this particular order?
The problem with we have now that it's making it difficult for the president's order to go through is lobbying and favoritism. That is the truth.
Lobbying and favoritism.
Yes, the other day we saw a senator who was trying to raise a motion in the Senate House begging that the VIPs should become targets. And it does not necessarily mean that that senator is he's talking about himself. He's talking about his friends, probably the people who, his donors, people who helped him fund his campaign, and people who are telling him, you guys cannot withdraw this VIP now. So you see, everyone is, and I think the IGP, via a statement, said that they will no longer be listening to what the governors are saying, that these are my people, that the VIPs will be withdrawn from that the police officers will be withdrawn from all VIPs. So I think it's a problem of, you know, favoritism. Everyone wants to compensate whoever helped him get into the corridors of power and all. But remember, when we talked about this last time, I said that this news, it belongs to the media and it will eventually end there. Talking about the society and the citizens being a watchdog, the Nigerians, we didn't start being watchdogs today. There is a public complaints commission. We have the ombudsman. All the reports you've been given, how have they been handling it? So it didn't start today, and it won't end today either.
All right. So what you're saying now is that even with the platform that has been made available to Nigerians to lay complaints and make their requests known, none has been adhered to. Let's also talk about the fact that these VIPs are hell-bent on retaining their police officers and escorts. Linking that to the insecurity that we're facing in Nigeria, let's compare that for a moment. Because if these people are saying that they would refuse their officers to be withdrawn, it also says a whole lot about their confidence in our police, in our military, to safeguard them as ordinary Nigerian citizen.
They don't even, to an extent, they don't even trust the police to even protect them. Now, even when it's being withdrawn, let's say for example that they were actually withdrawn, you've seen in the headline, was it last week, where they already writing to deviation, what's it called, institution for these same people to still protect them. And you see the entire disconnect. You see that these people are only concerned about themselves. I thought we are supposed to be empathetic, like I said last week. I thought we are equal according to the law. I thought we were supposed to be treated equally. Why is it that all these people are only concerned about themselves? If you are bothered, if truly the problem of insecurity is really worrisome, or it's something that is really huge for you, why don't you guys come together, form a round table to see how we can combat insecurity? But because of the fact that you already have alternative, if police does not work, you move to aviation. If aviation does not work, I believe maybe they will go to vigilantes or other people that will protect them. Is to show you that at the end of the day, they will still find a way out. They don't even care about other people, which is quite sad.
And do you think, Ugochukwu, that if the policemen are withdrawn from these VIPs, that it would affect the insecurity that we are facing, whether negatively or positively in any way?
Well, if the order is carried out judiciously, it would make our country safer, because what happens is that we have, you know, the other day I talked about the senators not being part of the VIPs. Actually, I learned that they are. The police are also meant to be withdrawn from them. And I'm just thinking about it now that we have 109 senators.
Yes.
We have over 350 House of Rep members. Imagine all these people have VIPs. They are all VIPs who have
police escorts,
protection. And now we now talk about the VIPs, businessmen, entrepreneurs all across the country. All these people are having police protection. Why common Nigerians who at the villages do not have any protection? The bandits come there and then they destroy lives and property. So if the order is carried out and all these police is withdrawn and they are posted strategically to the places that security is needed, our country will be relatively safer.
Oh, okay. So you believe that it would have a positive influence on our security situation
if they
that's what I'm saying.
thing.
Exactly. Now we've heard from the presidency coming out to give the order or the instruction to Nigerians to report anywhere they see VIPs using police escorts. And just to say, I saw one the other day, police escort sirens everywhere. In fact, that was just days after that order was given. But to be back to the question, right? Now, he has come out to ask Nigerians to make this report to him or to whatever platform. What now happens? What is the punishment for high-profile violations? What do you think? Do you think that they have made provisions for punishment for those who do not adhere to this? And do you think, if not, it is necessary to ensure compliance, Ifoma?
Sharon, I told you when he said that, did you see any sanction attached to that? There was no sanctioning. Now this is to still show you that all these things, like Ugo said, it starts with the headline and ends with the headline. In the headline, you understand, there is no enforcement, there is no penalty attached to anything. All these things are just mirage. They are just to make it look, like I said earlier, that they are working. When this present government is ready to put boots on ground to work, I believe that everybody will feel the heat of it, starting from the ordinary citizen, not the VIP. Everybody will feel. Is it not the same government that we're having senators dining with the first lady when in Kogi, in Kogi state, we had people that were abducted over the weekend, and these people were partying? It's to show you that they don't care. Even if the world will rotate today, fumble today, and capsize today, they don't care, so long as it's not something that will favor them or something that will destroy or harm their family. They're not concerned about it.
All right. Now, with the we can see that there are no sanctions really to that instruction or to that order from the presidency, and there is no punishment attached to people who defile that particular order. Now, we don't know how the presidency wants to ensure that that order is followed through if we don't have any sanctions or any punishment. Maybe they're still using the non-kinetic approach, which is what the military is still using to fight insecurity today. And talking about insecurity, we're moving over to the last story for today, where we're seeing that the bandits that kidnapped the Kwara State monarch has come out to demand a whooping sum of 150 million naira for his release. This was coming, we got this on Sunday, and it just a whole lot of reaction. But I'm just going to give a little backstory from what the monarch said while he was on call to his community. Now, the traditional ruler reported that he was transported on a motorcycle for over 5 hours to a dense forest before this ransom proclamation was made by the bandits. Now, it's always been so surprising to me ever since we started hearing of this banditry, their means of transportation, because I hear huge numbers, abducting 312 students, 38 people, and I've always wondered the means of transportation of these people. And I'm just going to ask Mr. Ugochukwu, when you have a means of transport, and we're seeing here a motorcycle. In other abduction cases, we've seen them just trekking. The Niger State, I remember they had a witness account that they saw people trekking into the bush. The time it takes for you to trek, and on an ordinary motorcycle, which I know is not as fast, I'm just going to ask, right, how come, how plausible is it that we have the bandits using their legs to transport people that they abducted, and yet there's no interception within that period of time?
Well, just like you, Sharon, I'm wondering how is this happening? How feasible it is? In fact, to hear of it, is that how inefficient our security forces are? Are they that inefficient? Even if you get an emergency call an hour later, there must be traces left behind. Exactly. There must be witnesses who can still point fingers at you. And even after all these things, you are still incapable of not, let's even rescuing them immediately from the equation. Let's even say, knowing that this is the location, and then you go back and strategize. But we've not seen any of those things. So are they that inefficient and incompetent? I don't know who to blame now. Is it the people on ground, or the people they take orders from, or even the presidents? I think at this point, each and every one of them, they have their own blame to
They have
take.
a part to play in all of this.
I don't know. I'm wondering how all this is happening and nothing is still being done about it every day and day again. Since over past 2 weeks now, we've been hearing news about kidnaps, banditry attacks, and it's endless. It's not ending anytime soon.
It isn't. It isn't at this point. And you know, another thing that I find equally surprising is also the ransom amount that they make, 150 million naira. We know that the other attack in Kwara State, where they abducted 38 church worshippers, they made a ransom demand of 100 million per head. That is 3.8 billion naira. Now we've seen other amounts as well, where a husband and a wife were abducted. I think they made a demand of 50 to 20 million naira. Now, because maybe he is a monarch, a king, they've come out to make a demand of 150 million naira. Before this, Ifoma, there were speculations that for the release of the 38 worshippers and the Kebbi school girls, the 25 Kebbi school girls, that the government actually paid these bandits. There was also a video that we saw where the bandits who claim to have abducted these girls, said that they were negotiated with and they were compensated before they released the girls. Let's talk a little about the culture of ransom and how fast it has grown within this short period of time.
Okay, first off, while I was perusing through the comments, somebody said that the picture, the monarch's picture we are seeing there is not actually the main person that was kidnapped. So I just want to debunk that. And then as regards to what you said, I think there's thing of abduction, this thing of kidnapping is now a full-blown industry.
What are you debunking? Is it the picture or the story?
No, the picture of the monarch, not the story. Do you get? I was just going through this thing. So as regards to what I was saying earlier, this is more like a full-blown industry where people are now making a lot of money. You see them coming out, kidnapping one person or a community, and then they'll place bounty 100 million, like the one that happened in Kwara State Church. We could see that these people, there's no scruples at all. And because of the fact that the president, or rather this present administration, kind of pats them in the back, because if at all that they fought these people, if at all that they were strict on these people, we wouldn't have seen this same abduction again in the same Kwara State. It shows you that the present administration, I am very certain that these people were paid some ransom before those people were, the 38 people were released from captivity, and now we are still seeing this set of people. And I pray that this news will still get to the federal government, or rather the president, to equally negotiate with these people and release these people. And they should equally prepare or brace themselves that more abductions are still going to come, and then they will still pay and pay. At the end of the day, you will now ask yourself, Are you sure that there is no possibility that maybe all these notable figures, they don't have a hand in this whole abduction? Because why are they placing such ransom on people's heads? And why is it that we keep on negotiating with people that are supposed to be facing the full wrath of law? Like I said earlier last week, or all this while we've been talking about insecurity, these are people that are plunging people into pain. These are people that are plunging people. A lot of people have died as a result of this what's it called, insecurity or banditry attack or whatever they call themselves. It's something that we need to erase totally, something that we need to, you know, we need to end immediately.
Of
but
course.
we could see the works, or the what's it called, from the president, the result from the president.
All right, we're also seeing that a lot of people have come out to even say that bandits should even go further, to not just attacking traditional rulers, but to even go forward to attacking politicians. The other day, we saw that Chris Nkige's convoy was being attacked by unknown gunmen in Anambra State. Do you think that, you know, when we see more politicians' abductions going on, or even VIPs' abduction, the tone of insecurity would change, Mr. Ogo?
It's obvious. However, I do not pray for violence at all, no matter who it is. But then, hypothetically speaking, if these politicians are targets, you would see each and every one of them finding, looking for solutions, and this time around, long-lasting solution to this problem of banditry and insecurity in our country. Because as long as it's not happening to you, it does not affect you in any way, they will always remain reluctant about it and continue to just we saw them go for a state dinner over the weekend. So it does not matter to them, it does not affect them. So if they become targets, I'm telling you, it will take no time for them to find a way to find a lasting solution to this insecurity issue.
All right. Now you're saying that there would be a radical shift to how Nigeria treats insecurity and the increased banditry attack when they start attacking politicians and VIPs in Nigeria. We hope to see how that would turn out moving forward, even as the year comes to a close. Anyways, thank you so much for doing this with me, my co-host Ifoma Oji, and our guest Mr. Ogochukwu Afuba. Always a wonderful conversation. If you're watching for the first time, thank you for joining us. This is Active Citizens Parliament. Don't forget to share your comments in the comment section. If you're yet to subscribe, endeavor to do so, and follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me across all media at Sharon Enemchukwu. And you, Ifoma?
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia, and on Instagram at Miselex.
Mr. Ogochukwu.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Ogochukwu Afuba.
All right, you just watched Active Citizens Parliament, and I'm your host, Sharon Enemchukwu. Till I come your way tomorrow, do have a good evening.